Hey everyone, do you ever just start a day and go, I don't know what I'm going to make today? So I came in here to my craft room. I found this tea-dyed file folder over the summer when I was tea dyeing. I tea dyed anything and everything. And I had tea dyed some file folders. Not really sure why. I just, looks like you ought to be able to stick it in that pan of tea, and I did. Now I started off the day, I was going to make some fabric flips with this. But then when I sat down here and I found in my desk, the bigger you make it, the bigger you mess. All this stuff. It's just everywhere. So I thought, well, I just started picking up pieces. And I made a little fabric cluster. On top of all these fabrics laying here, I found things like this that I had printed and were all crinkled up because they got shoved under things. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to turn on the camera and make some of these. They're nothing new, hundreds of videos, but I'm trying to make embellishments for a journal I'm working on, as you've probably already seen, and I thought I'm just going to sit down here and see what we come up with. So a lot of these things, I'm not even sure. I'm just going to start matching things up. Just cutting and making little clusters. And I've got all kinds of different fabrics here because, as I've said before, I'm making all kinds of different journals at the same time. My mind won't allow me to stick with one thing for very long. I love this flower, and I'm trying not to cover it up because I want it to be, I'm thinking this will be like a tab on the edge of a page. I have a whole bunch of this muslin. Whenever I make printed words, which I have some of those laying here too from my misprints, when I make these, I have lots of scraps. So that's the reason I have all these little things. Just laying about. Maybe I do something like this. Instead of stacking, just maybe do like this. I don't know, what do you think? So I think I'll sew through that, and then I'm also thinking I want to put some eyelets, like where we can hang them, something from it. Maybe tuck this in there, like that. I don't know. We're going to leave it, sew it, and try to create something a little better out of it. This is really pretty fabric. I don't want to cut the bigger pieces because I'm going to save those for my fabric flips, which is what I intended on doing. So I'm going to try to stick with these little scrappy pieces that I can't really do anything else with. You ever take ribbon like this and it has that metal, it's not metal, what is it called? I'm cutting this off because I want it to be rugged, where it makes it stiff. Can't think of what I'm trying to say. Cut me a piece of that. I usually end up tearing that out, but a lot of times I don't like that edging that it's in to make it stiff, so I just cut it off. I also had these fabric strips I got from somebody. I didn't make them, and I don't really like them. I love the fabric, but I don't really like them on this backing. They're self-adhesive where you can just stick them to something and they're okay, but the more I used them, I realize I don't really care for whatever that is used for the backing. It seems like it's, I don't know, kind of rubbery, and I'm afraid it's going to come off, so I'm just going to leave it on there. I'll just sew through it. Well, that stuff doesn't want to tear, does it? I like the frayed edges like that. Put something like this. Maybe a little piece of this. And I know these are, you know, pretty similar, but they won't go, probably more than likely won't go in the same journal, so we can make lots of things. Even have, isn't this blue pretty? I'm not going to put it in there, but it's sure pretty. Maybe another little piece of this burlap. You can tell I'm not cutting anything in perfect shapes. Just cutting off some of these words. And fiddling with it where I make sure all my colors are showing. Maybe something like that. I don't know, it might be totally different once I sew it. I think I'm just going to start cutting little pieces and laying them down like that instead of trying to do one at a time. I had some lace here too, I don't know. Let's do some bits of that. I think that it's good to put different kind of textures in your clusters. I've seen several times that when you make a cluster, you're supposed to have odd amounts. And I don't really follow that because I don't even know how many's in these things. Maybe I accidentally did odd amounts. Didn't even realize I'd done it. Ooh, I like all that fringy hanging off there. I guess a lot of these I'm tending to make them vertical because I know that they're going to probably be hanging off the edge of a page. I don't want to get it too bulked up though, or it's going to bulk up our journal too much. These were the edges of what I tore off of that, so I just stuck them down. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. Seems like if I think about it, then they don't turn out very good. Like this first one, I just started slapping stuff together and I liked it. Now that I'm trying to overthink it, nothing good's happening. And they're getting way too thick too. I'm just keep adding the same things. I don't think I'll add that to that. I'm gonna leave it with just those little things right there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I want a piece of this on that right there. Like that. I gotta make at least one Christmas cluster. Like that hanging off. That's cool. That thread's good. Do you like the frayed edges, or do you like everything to be, you know, more precise? I think the frayed edges give it a more interesting look. This is fun. Look at this piece of tea-dyed doily, and I've just kept cutting things off of it to use. I like that. Kind of interesting, isn't it? I'll put that one there. Maybe put a piece on my Christmas one too. And a word. This one's sad. Looks like reaming. Reaming. Why would you want reaming? It was dreaming. Printed off the edge, so of course then I couldn't sell it. I couldn't put it in the shop. It's also fun to kind of grunge these up a bit. I like that. Okay. Make that look a little bit dirtier. That's the paper, so I'm going to ink it. Not getting too picky about anything here, just throwing on some color. Alright, so I've got 6 of them. I'm going to go to my sewing machine and run some thread through these, see what we come up with, and I'll be back. Well, I'm finally back. That took way longer than it should have because, look, see where my machine messed up? All this back here. Okay, I didn't redo it because I loved the way that it had those little holes, and just, it looks a mess, so I love that. I'm going to keep it that way. But the bad news is, that tape that I told you I wasn't really crazy about, that fabric tape, is what did it. Because, and I knew better, because I've seen all over the place, and from my own experience, you don't put things with a lot of, you know, adhesive through your sewing machine. And that's why. And then on the next ones, of course, it wouldn't work because there was so much of that gummed up on there that it wouldn't sew. But that's okay. We got it fixed. Thank God. Because I thought, what am I going to do if my sewing machine quit? Hey, I wanted to show you a little trick, though. Okay. So, and this is probably, you've probably seen this before, but I don't remember where I saw this, but I always have trouble not being able to find my bobbin to match my thread because I just kind of have them everywhere. So you take a rubber band, doesn't matter the size, as long as it'll go over your spool, and run it through the center of your bobbin, and just like this. And then take one side and bring it through like that, and then run this over your thread where your little piece is loose. That way you can kind of hold it together and it doesn't go all over, and wrap it over, and you have them together always. And you can just like set this down behind your thread where it, you know, sets nicely. I can't do it. Nothing. Or you could do it like that, or you could set it flat some way, but I can't figure it out right now. But you know, as far as space, I just have these sitting on my table, so it doesn't matter that it's like that. But there is a way that I can't figure out right this second to tuck that under there where it lays flat. But anyway, I thought that was kind of neat. I would show it to you. So here's my clusters. And some of them look okay, some of them not so great. I love the one where it tore up. I just do. I think that's so cool. So I think I'm going to run some eyelets through some of these. And like on this one that looks kind of plain, when I get ready to put it in my journal, I might put a word on the top, or maybe a brad, run a pretty brad through it, something like that. And then the one where I had those little stick looking things from a burlap, only one got caught up in there. So I might just take the other one out too and forget that. Okay. The one I liked the least was my Christmas one, because I've sewed through it twice and I don't think that was a good idea. I think I should have just done the zigzag, but I was afraid it wouldn't catch all the way down. So I've sewed, and see, I just don't think that looks good now. But maybe if I put an eyelet in there and it distracts from all the sewing, it'll work. Let's try it. I'm going to do it first, see if it's ruined forever, or if it can be saved. Ruined. That's not a word, is it? It's ruined. Oh, I've got my thing set because I was punching holes for my ring bound journal that I was working on. I'm just a shoving thinking, it ought to go in there further than that. Well, it does, if you will pay attention. A lot of times I kind of have to trim this after I've done all the things and the sewing. A lot happening. It doesn't really like going through all that. So put my little eyelet here. Make sure all my materials are around it. And then just squeeze it down. And I think this would be good. Well, did I mess it up? Of course I did. I'm on camera. Why wouldn't I have messed? Look at that. Look at that. Okay, let's do it again. This one is a disaster. Okay, we're going to try it again. We're going to pay more attention. I'm going to pay more attention. I'm going to make sure that I get my little thing in there. There we go. All right. All right. Look at that. And then when I hang it from a page, I can hang something from it. Okay, I'm liking it better with the eyelet. I think it's distracting from all the sewing. So I'm happy with that one. Now I'm going to put some eyelets in these too. And I may not put as big as I did that one. I think I will in some of them. But in some of them, I think I'm going to put smaller little eyelets. Maybe in this one, I'll put a smaller one. I don't know. This is the biggest one. I ought to put a big one in there, shouldn't I? Yeah, let's do that. You know, if I was productive, I would go ahead and do all my holes at once. And then set all my eyelets at once. I just don't think I can think that far ahead. Look at me go. This one doesn't have too much happening on it, so I think I'll put a small one on it. And then this cluster, I don't know even which way it's going to go. I guess like this on a page. I think I'm going to put an eyelet higher so that when I hang something, it can hang down over this mess. And maybe I'll put 2 eyelets because it would be hard to hang something this way. You know, like if your eyelet was here, what would you clasp on? So I'm going to make 2 little eyelets where I can do a jump ring. This is the last. Nope. Do I have holes in all these things? I didn't put one in this one. I'm going to put a baby one in this one. So let's start putting, I'll put my eyelets in. This one's becoming quite the mess. Look at that. I'm going to have to move my thing over a little bit so I can for sure catch it. It's not wanting to be part of this. It's like, look, leave me out. You've made such a mess. I don't even want to be shown with this business. Well, I'm doing it upside down. My word. just just a little note. Your stuff always turns out better if you got it the right way. What a dingbat. Okay. Moving on. Hey, don't give up hope. I think we can still salvage this one. I love these little eyelets, and I don't know where this came from. I'm sure it came from a secondhand shop, and that's sad because I really, really like these, and I'm just about out. They, when we squish them, you know, sometimes the backs don't want to lay down very good, or they get, but these really do. They're really nice. Anybody knows what brand they are? There's not a sticker or anything on those. I would appreciate knowing. I would love to have some more. I haven't been fortunate enough to find any more at the secondhand shop. Those were just a fluke, but man, I love them. They're really, really good. Said there's nothing on them anywhere. Okay, so we have all of our eyelets set. And I thought maybe this one I would show you how I was planning on making this look great. I sound like an ad campaign, don't I? Oh, I don't want to talk about that. I'm just saying. Strings everywhere. Just gonna run it through. That way, I can hang something from this, and it can hang right down on my deal. And I didn't do that correctly. You're supposed to just, you know, do them sideways. That way, you can just put them back. Of course, I didn't do it that way. That's okay. It'll hold. And now I can just hang a bulb clip from this. And I like that. I like that idea with a little charm. Maybe a leaf or something for fall. All right, so that's looking a little better. I may put, well, let's just put some little things in there. I think this would have been better if I had used smaller eyelets. I really think I'll never use it because it didn't turn out that great. This is one of the homemade charms I made out of a cardboard box. Isn't it cool? I actually think it turned out pretty good. When I first done them, I thought, ew, that's terrible. I'll never use that. But the more I look at it, the more I like it. I'll have to make some more of those. Just going to punch a little hole there. Now that's cute. That turned out okay, didn't it? All right, I'm going to keep that one. Like I would throw it away anyway. That's half my problem. It's why my desk looks like this. Going to keep it. Wow, okay. What a great idea. I really do think I want to make some more of these little charms with out of the cardboard box. If anybody else likes those, let me know. I think they're kind of cool. I made a lot of them. Different sizes and shapes. I made a bunch that were pretty rough looking, you know, like crude. Just because I think, you know, back in the day, maybe they were more like that. I've used up pretty much all my charms that I had made. We're down to the handmade ones now. That's sad. Out of cardboard box. I had some really pretty charms. Made a bunch like this. There's one. But it looks like all the good ones I've already used up. Like these. I had a lot like these that I made from stickers. I thought they were cool. These are made from a digital print. These were digitals. And like I said, these were just cardboard boxes. What I was going for was I like those, you know, those stamped metal pieces that, I don't know what kind of tags they're actually called, but I think they're cool looking. And I really wanted some of those, and I couldn't. When I looked at the price of like all the stamped, you know, what it would take to make my own with the metal pieces and the stamping kits and all that, it's like, ugh, gosh, I can't. Let's figure out something else. So I made these that I think I'm going to put a jump ring on this too. I made these out of cardboard, and I kind of think they're okay. See if I can put this jump ring on the right way. I'm shaky. So shaky this morning. I don't know why. I don't know if my jump ring's big enough to go around that. Surely I can get that on there. Yep. There we go. That's cute. Little homemade tags. Aren't they funny? I gotta put a jump ring on something else because I got it hanging here. About this one. There we go. I have to prove that I know how to do these. Ta-da! No one cares. I've done these so long ago, I hope I can remember how to do them. I want to make some more. I shoved them in this box thinking, well, that was a waste of time. And now I've went back a year or so later, and they're almost my favorite thing. I like how they look. Hope you do. Hope you don't think, shoot, lady, you should throw those away years ago. I really like these out of the corrugated cardboard. They have such a nice texture to them. And they're sturdy. With great charms. We love using our cardboard, don't we? So that's the perfect thing. I'll have to do a little video on those. Not like it requires it much, but it's still fun. Okay. A little bitty one here. We'll put the little 45 on him. Cute. All right. So do I have something on all of them except my Christmas one? And I think on my Christmas one, I will probably put like a Santa charm or something. So I'm not going to put anything on that one right now. But I think for the autumn and fall journals, these tickets look okay. Pick up all my extras, which is not many. So we're going to have to make some of those. Because look, my box is almost empty. I made some out of wooden pieces too. Those are fun. Little keychain, or a key. I don't know what that one's made from. Then I just cut weird shapes that I hadn't put anything on yet. Maybe we'll have to revisit that, huh? Okay, so let's look at our progress today. My file folder that I intended on working with is laying there untouched. But look at all these fun clusters. I like them. I really wish I had put smaller holes in that one, but it's okay. I mean, it'll work. I hope you guys were inspired just a teeny bit by this. I know it was a mess. These aren't the best you ever seen. if nothing else, I have learned I want to make some more of those. And I actually think this is just regular cardboard, or it might just be these kind of things that you get in the mail where they're trying to get you to get a credit card or something. Those are great for these. That might be that. And then these are the card. You can see maybe see the wrinkles. That's actually the corrugated cardboard, which is probably what I would make them from again, because I really like that. I really like that. Okay, so I hope you like these little clusters and maybe they helped you. Okay, well, I've changed my mind on these two. I'm not going to wait for a Christmas Santa dangle. I want to put a pin nib on that. Makes sense to me. In Christmas, you know, kids write letters to Santa. So I've got some of these old pin nibs. Isn't this a pretty box? And I think I'm going to put one of those on there. Not crazy about that one. I have different ones that are a little fancier. See what else we got. Nope. These. This one's pretty. Maybe I'll put that one on there. Isn't it pretty? Put that one. Hang that one. And then I have rusted some bottle caps. Aren't they cool? For some reason, they remind me of root beer floats. I never liked root beer floats, but I don't know, something about the fall, and I don't know why. Reminds me of that. So I'm going to change this one out and put a rusted bottle cap. Do I want a flat one? Or no, I think I want one that's got the more shape like a bottle cap. There. I like that. That's cool. Okay, now let's do the pin nib. I think calligraphy is so cool. I wish I knew how to do artsy things like that. I bet my friend does. I need to give her some pin nibs and see if she can make me something cool. I think that'll look cool in a Christmas journal. Like, we're going to write letters to Santa. I like that. And I do like the rusted bottle cap and these cardboard charms. I think they look neat. So I think even though my tea-dyed file folder is still here and I didn't touch it or do what I wanted to do, I still think this was productive. I like these. There's 6 of them. I think they look good. They're going to make great embellishments for my junk journals. I hope this inspired you. And again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.